The following video may not be suitable for children 13 and under. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video I'll be reviewing this. This is Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Wheeljack. And gotta say, he looks really cool. Very G1. Like the Autobot symbol here. Awesome box art on the side. Man, they really gotta release this as either prints or downloads. That would be cool. Side box art. Back of the box. 18 steps to transform. And the top. Wait, let's get Wheeljack out of the box. Hey, here is Wheeljack out of the package. You have his instruction sheet over here. Very simple, easy to read and understand instructions. He also comes with this decoder, and the decoder is mainly for the map that is included with him in the package. And here's the map, and we see here Anpilla, I believe. Don't know where that is, but it's there. If you're interested in that, let's put this aside. He also comes with his gun. You can see over here. Now it's painted in this dark gunmetal over white plastic. It has this little 5mm port that you can put other stuff in. Doesn't come with this. And it has this little tab that you can put in this little slot here to give him a shoulder fired weapon like in G1. Unfortunately, he only comes with this weapon. He doesn't have a separate gun, so it'd be nice if he had a separate gun. Kind of reminds me of when Prowl first came out with in Siege, where he only had a gun but didn't have the shoulder cannons. And of course, it comes with Wheeljack himself. Very cool looking. A little mistransformed here. There we go. Get his wings out. Now, it's a little off white color, which is okay. I don't mind it. He looks very G1 in design, which is very cool. The proportions, while not perfect in my opinion, it's way better proportions than what we got with Universe Wheeljack or Classics Wheeljack. Let me pull them out here real quick. So here is the Wheeljack from before, and you can see such a big difference. Now, he kind of looks like Wheeljack, but in this period of time, Hasbro, the way they were retooling one figure, it really was forcing a figure to become another character. So this I believe he also became Trax as well. But yeah, so anyway, I definitely think this version is a better representation of Wheeljack than this version. Let's put the Universe Wheeljack aside. Take a closer look. Nice head sculpt. Now, no light piping, so it's kind of hard to see the eyes, but they are painted. Maybe it would have been better if they painted it a bit lighter so that it could be more viewable. But he does have eyes. Nice clean paint apps on the chest and on the legs. Cool part is the paint apps for the vehicle mode are there as well. The stampings, very nice. All the little detail, and we'll get more to that on that when we go over his vehicle mode. He's not hollow. Has these ports here, which is kind of cool. He doesn't have ports here, which is nice because I'd rather he have ports on the back than cover up this detail on the side of his legs. But all in all, very nice representation of Generation 1 Wheeljack. Hey, let's get on to articulation for the figure. The head can rotate 360. It's on a ball joint. The arm can rotate 360 too, but you have to kind of mess with it because this piece is in the way. Can lift up at the shoulder, rotate at the bicep, but not 360. It just stops here, more like a 180, I believe, or yeah. Can bend at the elbow. this much, and from this view it doesn't really look like an arm. And he does have wrist rotation, but that's mainly due to transformation. His waist can rotate 360 degrees. He can do the splits. He can kick this much, bend at the knee this much, and kick this back. Not a lot blocking on the lower part like there is on the upper part of his body. He does have ankle tilt. And if you want to count this as toe articulation, I guess you could, but it's mainly due to transformation, as you can see. All in all, very cool, very solid figure. And while it's more simplistic than the prior version of Wheeljack that we got, well, besides the Combiner Wars version, like this, it's more simplistic, more articulated, and more solid in my opinion than this. This one, I mean, everything kind of falls apart. Well, at least on mine, it does. It doesn't hold well and doesn't feel as solid as this. Or maybe it's just the backpack. Now for some size comparisons, here's Earthrise Wheeljack next to Earthrise Hoist. Both of these guys are deluxe class in price point, but as you can see, Hoist is a lot taller, a lot bigger than Wheeljack. And here's his other case mate or wave mate from Wave 1, Ironworks, and Ironworks is slightly taller but not as tall as Hoist. Also a deluxe class price point. And here is Earthrise Cliffjumper, who's the smallest in the deluxe class price point next to Wheeljack. And for further size comparison within the line, I have here Earthrise Optimus Prime, leader class price point, and Earthrise Grapple, the Voyager class price point in this line. Okay, let's get Wheeljack transformed. First thing we got to do is take out the weapon over here. Next, we're gonna rotate the spoilers. Now, something about the spoiler that's kind of interesting. It's actually just pegged on, so you have this 5mm peg here that you can put weapons on if you wanted to. But all we're gonna do is this to create the spoiler. Next, let's bring the arms up, rotate them like so, rotate them. Do it on the other side, rotate and rotate. Next thing we're going to do is bring the chest out so we can flip the head in. Now, originally the head on mine was really tight. In fact, what I had to do was take my screwdriver and take out these screws and get my spudger and loosen this a bit because it was put on too tight for some reason. I actually shaved off with a filer some material because it really felt I was going to break it. The other thing I discovered while doing that was this part was actually glued on, so it did take a long time to carefully break the glue that was with this plastic. You know, as a customizer, one thing I hate more than pieces being pinned on is pieces being glued on. Okay, oh, not supposed to close that. So we have this piece. Let's bring this up like so, the arms, and then this is just gonna tab into here, this thing like so. And yeah, you have this annoying gap in this design, as you can see here, this little gap. I'm not sure why. Okay, we're gonna take the lower body along with this part and rotate it 360, as you can see here. Bring the legs down a bit to make it a little easier. We're gonna rotate the toes, flip them down here like so. Take the leg out, push it to the side, do the same on the other side as well. I'm gonna flip the front windshield, do that on the other side as well. And then we're going to tuck the legs back in. You can see them starting to form the hood of the car. And then tab the legs together. Like so. And then flip it up to the roof of the car to get this. And then the hands can fold in, lock in. It's going to tab into here. And there you have the vehicle mode for Wheeljack. And for some size comparisons, here is Earthrise Wheeljack next to Earthrise Optimus Prime. Here he is next to Earthrise Hoist. Here he is next to Siege Red Alert with some Toy Hacks labels to give him an Earth mode. And here he is next to Earthrise Cliffjumper. Okay, let's take a closer look at Wheeljack in his vehicle mode. Now you can take his gun and put it on the top here like so, which makes it look really cool. But I gotta say, one thing really special with Wheeljack is in his vehicle mode, there is so much stuff you can find because of all of these stampings. So we'll start from the top here. You can just see it says Aerobolt over here. As you can see, on this side, it says Aerobolt with some Japanese characters. And let's look at the side here, because this is where all the kind of cool things are at. And let me prop this down here because I'm gonna zoom in, and I don't want to shake too much because when you do zoom in, sometimes get really shaky. So let's see what's on Wheeljack in terms of all these markings. So we can see the Autobot logo over here. Over here it says Swerve, some Japanese writing. I gotta figure out what that says. Maybe I'll put it in the subtitles somewhere or add that later. In here you can see Ricochet. Over here it says Modulator Wheeljack Invention, because Wheeljack likes to invent. Now, modulator, that's the term for these guys. Oh, let's get a close up. Like the little Micromaster bases. Let's see over here. Like in Siege, they call them weaponizers. In Earthrise, Ironworks, and the different Micromaster bases are called modulators. And over here, I went over that. Over here, it says, trying to make that out. Let me see if I can zoom in. That's the biggest zoom. Velocitron Racing 1981. Praxis. Protohex, A, Rally X, W Motors, Autobot Tracks. Iacon Modulator. There's like a lot of Autobot names here. We have Wheeljack, we have Ricochet, we have Swerve, we have Trax. And let's see on the other side if it's any different. Over here again, same thing. Override. Did we have Override on that side? We didn't have Override. It's different. It says Lucky, Autobot Trax. So it's different stampings. So over here we see Lucky. We also see Override, Iacon Modulator. On this side, we just see Iacon Modulator with nothing else on it. Man, this is pretty interesting. Just this alone is, for me, I don't know. I mean, folks are probably thinking I'm really silly, but this alone is worth Wheeljack's price. Just seeing all these little tiny tidbits on him. It says the same thing. Protohex. Oh, it says Velocitron Racing 1984 Praxis. Ricochet, Cybertron Con, Swerve again. Kind of interesting. Maybe it's just that over here it says Override on this side, but on this side it says Autobot Tracks, as you can see. I'm thinking this is just a little faded, but it probably says Velocitron Racing 1984 as well, even though it says 1981. Okay, I know I spent way too much time on the car detail, but I hope you found it worth it. Okay, let me get Wheeljack transformed into his robot mode and get you my final thoughts. All in all, I think Earthrise Wheeljack is an awesome figure. Minor issues. One, a little QC issue with the head being too tight that I had to fix. I hope it was just on my copy, and it seems like it is. The other issue is in vehicle mode, where there's that gap. But I gotta tell you, all these little markings, I find it very charming on the figure, and it makes me forget about that gap in the back of the vehicle mode. I just really like this figure a lot. Now, as I said earlier, I do see that I do think that they can retool this figure to be Sunstreaker, Tracks, Runamuck, Runabout, and I really hope they do. I like the design a lot. Very simple, yet you still have the articulation. The transformation is not overly complicated as well. It's all in all, I just think it's a great figure. Okay, the last gripe again was the gun, but again, minor. I can 3D print something. I'm pretty sure some third-party company will make a weapons pack for these guys, so I'm not too worried about that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Follow us on social media and check out our Discord. Links in the description below.